Defending Care Episode 6. 381 million. That is the size of the global care force today. Every paid and unpaid care. Every nurse, care aide, home health worker, family member providing daily care. 381 million. 2.3 billion. That is the projected number of care recipients by 2030. The number of people worldwide who will need care. 381 million workers, 2.3 billion recipients. You cannot hire your way to that ratio. There are not enough people, there are not enough training programs, there are not enough years. The WHO projects a shortfall of 11 million health workers by 2030. 11 million people who do not yet exist in the workforce. The question is not how do we find 11 million people? The question is, where did we lose the capacity we already had? For 5 episodes, I have been documenting a drain. Not a shortage, a drain. The caregivers are there. The hours are there. The capacity is there. It is being consumed. In a peer-reviewed study of 2,207 care workers across 118 facilities, 73.9% of care workers are strongly burdened by administrative tasks. 36.6% is spending more than 2 hours every day on documentation alone. 2 hours per day per caregiver on documentation in an 8-hour shift, that is 25% of total care capacity. Consumed by administration every day in every facility. The full administrative burden, documentation, compliance, reporting, scheduling, verification, prior authorization, consumes closer to 40% of total care capacity. We call this the TangleWare Tax. Now, apply that 40% to 381 million care workers. 381 million care workers multiplied by 40% capacity lost to administration equals 152 million full-time equivalent care workers consumed by TangleWare. 152 million not missing workers, existing workers, already there, already trained, already caring, whose capacity is being consumed by an architecture that should never have demanded it. Jefferson Health, one of the largest health systems in the United States, announced an initiative to reclaim 10 million clinician hours for 23,000 clinicians, described as equivalent of returning 2 years of time to the workforce. They call it reclaiming hours. I call it manufacturing human hours, not creating new capacity by hiring new people. Manufacturing capacity by returning what was taken. Let me show you the arithmetic, not the argument, the arithmetic. The global care workforce, 381 million care workers worldwide, administrative burden conservatively measured, 40% of care capacity consumed by administrative tasks, the TangleWare Tax. The capacity currently lost, 152 million full-time equivalent care workers, existing, trained, present, consumed by administration. Now, if work as services architecture reclaims half of that burden, returning 20% of total capacity to direct care, 20% of 381 million equals 76 million full-time equivalent care workers manufactured from the existing workforce without hiring a single person. 76 million. The WHO projects a shortfall of 11 million workers. The existing workforce, freed from half its administrative burden, manufactures the equivalent of 76 million. 7 times the projected shortfall without hiring anyone. without new training programs, without immigration policy, without a decade of workforce development from what already exists, by removing what should never have been there. I want to be exact about what this means. The care crisis is not a shortage of people. The care crisis is a shortage of capacity caused by an architecture that consumes people's time instead of enabling their work. We have been solving the wrong problem with the wrong tools for 20 years. Hiring more people into a system that consumes 40% of their capacity on arrival. It's not a solution. It is a slower version of the same failure. There is a logical argument that I want to state precisely. 3 premises, 1 conclusion. Premise 1. The global care workforce cannot grow fast enough to meet 2030 demand. The arithmetic does not permit it. Premise 2. Up to 40% of existing care workforce capacity is consumed by administrative burden. Burden that delivers no care, creates no clinical value, and exists solely to satisfy systems that should have done the work themselves. Premise 3. Technology exists today that can perform administrative work autonomously. Documentation, scheduling, compliance, verification, returning the human to presence. Conclusion. The only structural solution to the global care workforce crisis is not to hire more people into the existing architecture. It is to change the architecture so that the people who are already there can work. This is work as services. This is autonomous caring. This is the only response proportionate to the force it is responding to. 6 episodes, 6 countries, 1 structural force. I named it the care drain. The systematic draining of economic viability, human talent, operational capacity, organizational stability, and owner resilience from care businesses worldwide. It is not a metaphor. It is a structure. It is measurable. It is operating right now in every country with an aging population. It has a structural response. The Care Manifesto documents the evidence, frames the diagnosis, and calls for the architecture. This podcast and the conversations it generates, the data it surfaces, the executives it reaches, is building the case that policymakers, investors, researchers, and care systems leaders need act. Not better software, a different architecture. Not hiring more people into a system that will consume their capacity on arrival. Manufacturing the capacity that already exists. If this work is relevant to you, if you are a policy maker, an investor, a researcher, a care system leader, or someone who has recognized the care drain in your own organization, I would like to hear from you. The website link is given. The full transcript of this episode, all 6 episodes, the citations, and the Care Manifesto are available at anandchaturvedi.com. I am Anand Chaturvedi, system architect of the silver economy. This is Defending Care.